It's the Superhuman Television Show, your guide to living beyond 100 years in good health. Now, here's your host, Carl Lanore and Tony Vanetti.
Welcome back, folks, to another fantastic episode. I think it's going to be fantastic, of Superhuman Television, a show put together by Carl Lanore and myself to get this journey called life a little bit better. Not so many bumpy roads and living longer and living better. I'm representing, I guess, UK today. You're U of L with the red and blue.
Oh, I didn't even realize that. Thank you very much.
That's
I like U of L. They keep winning.
Somebody for everybody. I'm usually in red, but I'll take blue today. We've talked a lot about paleo diet and vitamins and your thyroid and all that. We're going to move on to something a little bit more complicated today.
And interestingly enough, I always strive to pick topics that are relevant and that we can also give solutions to. We can say to the audience, well, this is what you do to avoid that. And unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to give you specifics to avoid what we're going to be talking about today, but you need to be aware of it so that you can start watching for it and avoiding it on your own.
Okay.
And we're going to talk about endocrine disruptors today. But before we talk about endocrine disruptors, we have to talk about what the endocrine system is. Okay? The endocrine system is a series of glands that produce hormones, like the thyroid, like the ovaries, the testes, and so on. And these hormones show up directly in our bloodstream.
So my testicles are endocrine?
Yes, part of the endocrine system.
Okay.
And so these hormones regulate various bodily functions, metabolism, growth and development, tissue function, sleep and mood, and much more deeper than that. And also, there is a field of study dealing just with the endocrine system, and you may have been to an endocrinologist at some point in time, but they specialize in this system because it's so complex, but more importantly, your life depends on your endocrine system functioning properly.
So managing the endocrine system is very important. Obviously,
there are so many diseases, from diabetes to cancer, that are influenced by the endocrine system. Any woman out there who's had an estrogen-dependent cancer can tell you estrogen is scary stuff when it doesn't work right.
Right.
Okay? Well, the endocrine system is a very, very important system, and there are things out there today, in modern times, that are fouling up our endocrine system.
Okay, there you go.
I want to tell you how this works, too.
Okay.
The endocrine system works like this. The hormones are like keys, and the receptors are like locks. Mm-hmm. So when estrogen docks in the estrogen receptor, it causes the beneficial effects of estrogen. When testosterone docks in the androgen receptor, it causes the beneficial results that we want from testosterone. And all the other hormones work the same way.
But the receptors have to be open.
Exactly. Have you ever had two keys that look the same?
Exactly the same, but don't work.
And so the only way you figured out which one was the right one was you'd put the first one and it wouldn't turn, and you'd go to the second one, it would turn?
Yes, sir.
Well, this is what happens with endocrine disruptors. Endocrine disruptors look just like the hormones, and they fit neatly into the receptor, but they don't turn the lock.
So you could be making enough testosterone, but your body's not taking it.
Bingo. Or a thyroid hormone, or estrogen. But what's even worse than that, than not just turning the lock, sometimes it's like breaking off the key, where the receptor does bad things. Instead of it just, so it's bad enough that the endocrine disruptors take up the space and don't let the good key in, but they also can foul things up on top of that. And that's when things go wrong.
Are any of them in the brain at all?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Every cell on your body has receptors, and those receptors are looking for those hormones. Because remember what we said on the HRT show, hormones are messengers.
Like drug addicts, like the drug addicts that I've heard this before, that once the synthetic drug that you take or whatever you use, it blocks those receptors. You're getting a phone call there?
I don't know what that is. I don't know. Hold on a minute. I got to figure out how to shut that.
Is she saying anything interesting? That's
no,
what
I think she's repeating what you were saying.
Okay, that's exactly right. Well, women, there you go. But you have to keep taking the drug, whatever you're addicted to, because your receptors are blocked off, and you got to reopen those receptors to feel good about yourself. Because you use the drugs to make you feel good about yourself.
Well, no. I think the drugs actually do fit into the receptors and do what is intended.
Right.
But you become addicted to that sensation over and over again.
Okay, gotcha. Okay.
But in this case here, we're talking about hormones that we want to do the right job, but these counterfeit hormones, if you will, are fouling things up. And there is direct linkage between endocrine disruptors and diseases. We know certain endocrine disruptors cause disease. So let's talk about where these bad things are coming from.
Okay. How do you foul up your endocrine system?
First of all, the environment. Pesticides, cleaning fluids, industrial solvents, they have things in them called xenoestrogens, which means a synthetic estrogen. Okay? Fluoride in your water, we talked about in the thyroid show, those compete with iodine at the thyroid. They are endocrine disruptors because the fluoride keeps the thyroid from working properly.
Fluoride's also in my toothpaste.
That's right. Not unless we have a secret toothpaste we'll talk about on this show very shortly. But also things that like phthalates in plastic. And we've all heard the whole thing about BPA, bisphenol A. Bisphenol A is an endocrine disruptor. It looks like estrogen to the body. Phthalates look like testosterone to the body.
All right, so we're gonna figure out how to keep those receptors open and getting the hormones you need in your endocrine system.
We're gonna do our best to tell you what to do. Absolutely.
All right, it might be just another piece of the puzzle, and that's what we're doing, is giving you the breadcrumbs and the piece of the puzzle to get you on down the road to having that superhuman life, because this is Superhuman Television. Tony Vanetti and Carl Lanore back after this.
Stay disease-free. That's the goal here.
Superhuman Television will return after these messages.
Your body knows what it wants. It wants to feel stronger, work harder, act faster, and think sharper. Give your body more nutrients, more antioxidants, more protection, more of what it wants. Try Live On Lab's liposomal vitamin C today, risk-free, and give your body the nutrients to support your overall health, without jitters, without side effects. Order online at liveonlabs.com.
Welcome back to Superhuman Television. We're talking about endocrine disruptors today. And there was one that I didn't get a chance to mention that you're going to be shocked by.
Okay.
And it's a food. Soy.
Soy?
Soy's
everywhere in my house.
Soy has phytoestrogens in it. The body thinks it's estrogen.
Yes, that's the
now
problem in my home.
Now let me ask you a question.
It's my daughter that drinks all this soy.
Okay, but now let me ask you a question. Wait a minute. If I came to your house every morning and rang the doorbell, what's your daughter's name?
Margaret.
And Margaret came to the door, and I took a little bit of the hormone replacement cream with estrogen made for a postmenopausal woman and rubbed it on Margaret's arm and said, okay, have a good day at school. What would you say?
I'd beat you with a bat.
Well, why do you think it's any different that she's eating soy?
No, I've had this conversation. They say that every glass of soy, she drinks that chocolate soy milk or whatever.
It's the worst thing for your kids to be drinking.
She's so lactose intolerant.
There's other alternatives.
She's like a 10 out of 1 to 10 here.
Almond milk.
Well, yes, we've switched to, we do that also. We do the almond milk totally, yeah.
You should not be eating soy for any reason at all, unless you want estrogen and extra estrogen in your body.
Eating at a Chinese buffet.
And I know there's people out there going to say, well, my doctor said that soy is good for me because I had breast cancer. Your doctor's wrong. I'm sorry. I don't care what your doctor says. If you have an estrogen-dependent cancer and you're putting a phytoestrogen in your body, that's a mistake.
That makes no sense.
Okay, so let's move on, okay? So some of the proof that these things are dangerous, you wanted to know, right?
Yeah, I want to know why are some of these things dangerous.
Okay,
right?
So we know that things like dioxin and BPA have been directly linked to reproductive problems.
Yes.
You look at all the people today that can't have babies. They have to go to a doctor to have a baby, okay?
Yeah.
Look at all the men with low testosterone levels in
Yes.
their 20s and 30s,
Right.
okay?
Yep.
We know that the fish are being feminized by something called triclosan. All of you who squirt those what do they call those? Not antibiotic, what do they call them?
The alcohol. I got it right over there in my bag.
You use those things, they have triclosan in them. Those are feminizing fish. They're turning male fish into female fish. It's hand sanitizer.
Yes,
but it has endocrine disruptors in it. It has things that look like hormones to your body.
Really?
So
what am I got to do that because now I'm a germaphobe. I'm sorry. I've got to do something
Wash
to my
your hands with soap and water.
All right.
Why not soap and water? It worked for 1,000 years. Why not that? Okay, so here's another one.
Drying my hands.
Women know it dries your hands.
Dries my hands.
You don't want dishpan hands?
Yeah.
Women know that there are certain things out in the environment that are linked directly to that cause breast cancer. There's certain pesticides out there. Roundup has been linked to breast cancer
Endocrine
now.
receptors is what we're talking about today. We switched at the house to the cleaners. We switched to the all-natural cleaners for the marble top and the kitchen table and everything else. So we're ahead of the game on that one.
Who can't remember dioxin? Dioxin, right?
Right.
Was used as a pesticide. It caused breast cancer in women,
right.
not rats.
Right.
And then let's not forget Agent Orange, which they, by the way, if you are not aware of this, but companies like Monsanto are trying to reintroduce something called 2,4-D, which is a weakened version of Agent Orange, because the Roundup isn't working anymore, so they want stronger pesticides and herbicides. So this is going to be a stronger herbicide. Coming to a store near you will be Agent Orange on your corn very shortly.
Hey, that's a different show we got. Do not eat corn.
But you know what? That's been linked to developing Hodgkin's disease. Yet again, another endocrine disruptor. Now, we can't give you the list of every endocrine disruptor in the world. We can't do it, okay? But what we can tell you about is things like, I think we have a slide from Scientific America. They're debating whether or not to regulate bisphenol A. There are people out there who don't think bisphenol A is dangerous, but the majority of them are on the industry side. Mm-hmm. But we know that bisphenol A causes development of problems in humans, and we need to get it out of the environment. Mm-hmm. But you can't keep up on all these things. We couldn't put a list up. Here's the website you need to go to. We have a link, an image to a website. And that website, I believe, is...
There it is.
Here. OurStolenFuture.org/basics/chem list. Every single known endocrine disruptor is on this list.
Keep that up for a second, please.
Yes. You go there and you look at this list, and it tells you, first of all, whether it's estrogen, testosterone, thyroid damaging, reproductive damaging. It tells you where you find it. It tells you the research that proves that it's dangerous for you. And you look and see if these things are in your...
There you go.
There it goes again.
Crazy
I don't know why
again.
it's doing that. I'm sorry. But anyway... You got to get these things out of your environment.
Again, because it's blocking the receptors in your body that they have a job to do. You want to be able to use the testosterone you're producing
and the
estrogen that you're using, and it's some of these chemicals that you use in your daily household or intake are blocking those receptors. So your testosterone level could be fine. So you go to the doctor, you get your blood test, and he's like, "Hey, your estrogen level, that's fine, that's right, that's not but you're not absorbing it." You're
not feeling the actions of it.
You're not feeling the benefits of it.
And in fact, these endocrine disruptors are actually causing disease. It's not just that they're blocking it, but they're fouling everything up on top of it.
Okay, so replace some of those things. Those are good tips right there. We're going to continue with this conversation. So
actually, when we come back, we have viewer questions.
Okay, first viewer questions on the show. Fantastic. Superhuman Television back after this.
Superhuman Television will return after these messages.
Your body knows what it wants. It wants to feel stronger, work harder, act faster, and think sharper. Give your body more nutrients, more antioxidants, more protection, more of what it wants. Try Live On Lab's liposomal vitamin C today, risk-free, and give your body the nutrients to support your overall health, without jitters, without side effects. Order online at liveonlabs.com.
We've added to the list, Carl. Soy is out of here.
That's it.
Soy is out of here. So if you're listening to the show, we're going to keep you marking things off that you're not going to put in your body anymore. Soy is one of them. All right. Get rid of it. But we've been on the air for a couple of weeks now. And we're starting to get listener questions,
yes,
Carl. And we have
these are good questions, too.
We have Mary Beth. Here you go. You said that seeds are bad on the show about eating grains. What about nuts like almonds, peanuts, and walnuts?
This is a great question. So remember what I said about the DNA material in seeds and how plants upregulate the anti-nutrients in those seeds to... Okay, well... Nuts are different because they have hard shells.
That's their protector.
That's their protection.
Seeds, their defense mechanism is trying not to get eaten.
That's it. Every organism on this planet wants to reproduce. So those that can't fight, run, or bite have to find other ways to protect themselves. In the case of seeds, they have a hard shell that most animals can't get through. So they don't have to put a lot of poisons in the seed itself. So those are good. But wait a minute. Mary Beth, don't eat peanuts. They're not even nuts. They're legumes. What did we talk about on the Paleo Show about beans being bad for you?
Right, yeah.
In fact, Dr. Lauren Cordain's group proved that the lectins in peanuts cause arteriosclerotic plaque buildup.
So peanut butter?
No, almond butter, cashew butter.
Almond butter.
No peanut butter. Stay away from peanuts. They are not nuts.
Pistachios are okay?
Pistachios are
They got the
fantastic.
I love pistachios.
Pistachios are great. Peanuts are not nuts. The rest of them are.
We have another question.
Yes.
Let's bring up Sylvia. On the show where you talked about hormone replacement therapy, you said women need testosterone as well as estrogen and progesterone. My girlfriend said if I take testosterone, I will grow hair and my voice will get deeper. Is this true?
No, it's
For
not
women.
true. It's not true, Sylvia. First of all, you had testosterone in your body as a young girl all the way through your 30s, and it started to dip in your late 30s and 40s. And so if it didn't give you a deep voice and hair then, it's not going to now.
I have a friend that's a singer, and she took testosterone replacement therapy, and it changed her life. Okay,
But not her voice.
Testosterone. So this is where it leads to. Changed her life. She said her kids didn't know she was on it, and her kids asked her, "What is the deal with you?
Right.
Why are you whistling in the morning?" Okay, but she's a singer, so she said she couldn't hit some certain notes, so she went back to her hormone therapist doctor. And because she said she was in tears because she thought I have to stop taking testosterone because of my singing career, and she found out that's not what's happening. The testosterone had nothing to do with her voice.
Right.
She was actually sick.
Right.
She actually had a cold,
right,
or whatever was going on with her. But no, I've seen it. It has nothing to do with your voice. You're not going to grow hair.
Well, another thing that women worry about is they feel that if there's testosterone in their hormone replacement therapy, it's going to masculinize them somehow, give them muscles.
The women are taking such lower doses than you and I are.
Right. Well, let's talk about that. So the top end of a woman's level is 200 nanograms a deciliter. The bottom end of a man's level is 400. And if you look at these female athletes that people say, well, oh, that female athlete uses testosterone, they're taking the same doses that men would take.
Yes. Yes. Again, you'll hear a lot of the testosterone replacement and hormone replacement from us on this show because we believe it's for your mental health, just to go back to the hormone levels that you had when you were younger. You had more confidence.
Yeah, but no, I would not, Sylvia, don't worry about that.
Yeah,
and
Sylvia,
absolutely,
you're
you should have testosterone as one of the hormones in your multi-hormone therapy replacement program.
Consult with your hormone replacement doctor, all right, about that, and they'll set you straight about that. That's a good question, though. Good job.
Yeah. But anyway, I am being told to sit up straighter.
He's a radio guy, okay?
Yeah, radio guys, we don't care what we look like.
Slouching, and this is my show.
I don't care what I look like.
I'm blocking part of
I
the...
actually have a face like an old shoe, as you can see. This isn't even high def. If we had high def, you'd be afraid of falling into one of the wrinkles in my forehead right now.
How do you keep the receptors open in your body? There's some things that are blocking that. My hand sanitizer now, I'm going to have to change that. It's in my computer bag right now. I use it every 10 minutes.
Well, actually, our floor director, Elisa Profumo, just pointed out something. There's something, what is that called? Cleanwell. Cleanwell. It does not have any triclosan in it. Where can you get it?
All natural hand sanitizing wipe. I'm going to switch to that and use the...
From Vitamin Shop. She got that at Vitamin Shop. So there are answers to these things. And you know why there's answers to these things? Because people are getting wise. What we have done in the past 100 years is basically pooped on the environment, and we are seeing all of the problems today as a result of
My
that.
sister makes her own shampoo because she will tell you, because she's sort of like you and I, Carl, but she goes way over the top. She will say that the suds in your shampoo, like that was put in there. You don't need suds.
To clean
there are
your
no
hair.
suds. You don't think you're cleaning your hair if there's no suds. She was like, you don't need suds. That's bad for you. So she makes her own shampoo at home. I swear to you. I swear to you.
We're gonna be doing a bunch of really great shows. You're gonna want to stay tuned. I promise you, it's gonna be an exciting journey. Superhuman Television. Record us. Play us back over and over again.
Back after this.
Superhuman Television will return after these messages.
Your body knows what it wants. It wants to feel stronger, work harder, act faster, and think sharper. Give your body more nutrients, more antioxidants, more protection, more of what it wants. Try Live On Lab's liposomal vitamin C today, risk-free, and give your body the nutrients to support your overall health, without jitters, without side effects. Order online at liveonlabs.com.
Just some thoughts on endocrine receptors. Some of the stuff you use, your shampoos, your hand sanitizers, some of the things you eat like soy. You might be making the great hormones in your body, but you're not enjoying them because the receptors aren't accepting them, okay? Right. So they could be blocking those. Carl used an analogy of a key fitting and not turning. That's exactly what it is. So watch what you eat, and the shampoos. Start to read the stuff. I brought up the suds. There shouldn't be suds when you wash your hair.
No, you're right.
So there you go. And you wanted to bring up something before we get out of here today.
We have a show coming up, one of the next shows that's coming up, and I don't want the ladies in the audience to tune out on this show because actually I'm doing the show for you more so. We're going to be doing a show on the linkage between strength and health and longevity. Strength comes natural to men. It doesn't come natural to women. In fact, in today's society, strong women, physically strong women are almost frowned upon. Mm-hmm. Everybody wants to be skinny, skinny, skinny.
Yeah.
But what we know is that strong people live longer and resist cancer and other diseases. Mm-hmm. The interesting thing about it is that women outlive men by 7 to 10 years, but more women end up in institutions because they can't get out of a chair. Right. They fall a couple times and the kids go, hey, Mom, you can't live by yourself anymore.
Yep.
We're going to be doing a show on the linkage between strength, longevity, and health. And I want the women to tune in with extra emphasis because this is really for those of you out there listening to the show.
You got to use it or lose it. There's no question. When you get older, what do? You go to physical therapy and they make you lift weights as an older person. Okay?
You don't need that.
You've got to, don't ever get to that point.
Right.
All right. You always have to be active. Hey, the mall is open. All right. The mall walkers. All right. If you're a shopper, shopping. East End housewives, older East End housewives. Get out and do a little walking, some strength. I've always loved athletic women. I mean, it's in the South, especially. It's more. You get up north.
Well, and 100 years ago, women worked side by side with men.
Right. Yeah.
They worked on farms. We still have women who work on farms. They're strong women. They're disease free. They live long lives and they're strong.
I can't wait for that episode. It's going to be a lot of fun because you and I enjoy the gym and our gym lives.
Yes.
We talked about the gym. Our family of friends we have at the gym that I've met just through the gym. I know the name of their kids and all that because we work out all the time at the same time at the gym. So we are wrapping up today another show of Superhuman Television. Thanks for joining us on WBNA. You can record it on DVR. Or you can just watch us every single day.
We're being told that we have a minute to fill here.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Again, record is a great idea, but we're going to be here with you every day, Monday through Friday, a brand new show. Now, if you pop on and it's a rerun of something, watch it again. Okay, the information sometimes you need to soak in. So there'll be new shows almost every single day, except when we screw up. And we have to replay replay.
And we already decided we're always going to replay show number 1 where we talk about how we got into this. Because I think it's important for those of you who've never seen the first show where my picture of my big 330-pound body, as sick as I was, I think it's convincing. You understand why we're doing this because this lifestyle has touched us.
Thanks for joining us every day here at noon on WBNA. I'm Tony Finetti, he's Carl Lanore, and this is Superhuman Television.
Your body knows what it wants. It wants to feel stronger, work harder, act faster, and think sharper. Give your body more nutrients, more antioxidants, more protection, more of what it wants. Try Live On Lab's liposomal vitamin C today, risk-free, and give your body the nutrients to support your overall health, without jitters, without side effects. Order online at liveonlabs.com.